Welcome to This Week in Astrology. This is episode number 604 for June 2022. June features 3 planets changing direction. Mercury turns direct, while Saturn and Neptune turn retrograde. There's a Sagittarius full moon empowered by Saturn and Neptune, and a Cancer new moon amplified by a Jupiter square. We also have the summer solstice chart, 5 related T-squares, and more. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm your host, Benjamin Bernstein. I record these forecasts as an audio podcast and a video, so take your pick. The video version includes detailed chart graphics, which you can also see in my written forecasts at astroshaman.com. Check out our website, thisweekinastrology.com, where you can hear the show and subscribe to podcast updates. And if you have not already done so, be sure to click the link in the show notes for 2 chances to win a free Astrology Plus session with me each month. All right, as June begins, the moon is waxing. There was a Gemini new moon on May 30th. Mercury is retrograde through June 3rd. Pluto is retrograde through October 8th. And we have aspect patterns active, a double Thor's hammer, and 3 T-squares already in play. I will tell you about those immediately, because now we're on to June 1st, Wednesday. This is where I will talk about the 5 related T-squares. They're all active in June. I'll interpret them all here, and then I will reference them later in the forecast as they start or peak. Let's start with the foundational T-square that all the others are built on. Saturn square the lunar nodes. It carries a simple message: get on track with your life purpose. This T-square's total duration is 10.5 months. It started on February 15, peaked on April 11, and ends on December 26th. Saturn can bring challenge, but only when it's needed. To the degree that you've deviated from your life purpose, Saturn will roil the waters to let you know. Release or adjust accordingly. But if you're on track, he'll be a steady wind in your sails. The south node is in Scorpio, while the north node is in Taurus. So some of this reality checking on life purpose might involve material resources, wealth, and abundance. Are you wielding power skillfully to achieve clear, desirable outcomes? And do you have an appropriate amount of sensuality and sexuality in your life? Next, Uranus joins the party. Uranus joined the Saturn-Uranus lunar nodes T-square on April 2nd, about a month and a half after it started. Uranus will remain with this T-square until it wraps up on December 26th. But even after this T-square ends, the square aspect between Saturn and Uranus will continue for another month. I just interpreted the lunar nodes, so here I'm going to focus on the Saturn-Uranus square. It came into orb on November 23rd of 2020. It lasts a total of 26 months, all the way through January 24th of 2023. Now, the Saturn-Uranus square was 2021's strongest aspect and was exact 3 times last year. While it is not exact this year, it remains so strong that it's also 2022's most powerful astrological influence. Its closest approach will be on October 1st, when the Saturn-Uranus square's orb, which means degree of exactness, will only be half a degree. Many of 2022's biggest news stories fit the Saturn-Uranus archetype, including Russia's invasion of Ukraine, resulting in major unexpected changes in the geopolitical world order. Fast rising inflation in the U.S. economy, surprising both economists and consumers with uncomfortably high prices for gas, groceries, housing, and more. The school shooting in Uvalde, Texas, the Tops supermarket shooting in Buffalo, New York, the U.S. officially surpassing 1 million COVID deaths, and increasing abortion restrictions in the U.S., and the growing chance of the Supreme Court overturning Roe v. Wade. These tie into the Saturn-Uranus themes that are most important now. These include limitations on freedom, acute tension between liberal and conservative elements, polarized extremes between reactionary and progressive impulses, unexpected problems and disruptions, severe shocks, rude awakenings, irresponsible or harmful forms of rebellion, authority versus rebellion, conservatism versus change, challenging the bedrock assumptions of a worldview, personal suffering becoming archetypal suffering, global breakdown of antiquated structures. That's just a sampling. For a deep dive on Saturn-Uranus, read my December 24th interpretation, and that is linked in the show notes. So that leaves us with 3 T-squares in June that last a month or less. Let's start with the one that's already underway, Mercury, Saturn, and lunar nodes. This T-square started on May 18, peaks on June 3rd, and ends on June 16th. Mercury is conjunct the North Node in Taurus. This is a great time to be systematic and disciplined with learning, communication, and teaching that aligns with your soul purpose. If some external authority is trying to keep you quiet, is this the time to speak out anyway? Then we have Venus, Saturn, lunar nodes, T-square. This one starts on June 10th, peaks on the 17th, ends on the 24th. Like Mercury, Venus is conjunct the North Node in Taurus. It's commonly said that you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. As Venus conjoins the North Node, consider who you're connecting with most frequently. Are they positive influences who help you achieve your most important life goals? If not, who should you associate with instead? Venus also represents creative expression. If you're experiencing challenge in this area, Saturn is wondering if something about your artistry should be released or restructured. But if everything's well aligned, Saturn square Venus in Taurus can help you accomplish a tremendous amount of creative work. Our final T-square has Pallas Athena conjoining the North Node. There's also Saturn in there, the South Node as well. This one starts on June 3rd, peaks on the 20th, and ends on July 6th. The warrior goddess wants to know if you're moving towards your life purpose with enough assertiveness. Are you being strategic in fulfilling the reason you were born? Fulfilling your soul vision will require other people. Are you skillfully using diplomacy, mediation, and negotiation as needed? Those, of course, are Pallas Athena themes. So enough on all those T-squares. Friday, June 3rd, Mercury turns direct today at 4 a.m. at 26 degrees Taurus. The winged messenger has been retrograde since May 10th, around 5 degrees Gemini when it turned. This is a great time now to start taking action on the themes you contemplated while Mercury was retrograde. As a reminder, here's what I said about those in my May 10th forecast. Mercury was retrograde in Gemini May 10th through the 22nd. This was a great time to ponder the best things for you to learn or teach. Mercury backpedaled into Taurus for the rest of its retrograde May 23rd through June 3rd. This was a great time to reflect on themes like money, resources, and security. In addition, are you enjoying your 5 senses enough? Are you getting enough massages and spending enough time in nature? In what areas are you stubbornly staying the course, and is that really best? If you had delayed any major new beginnings during Mercury retrograde, you can move forward now. In addition, the moon is waxing, which is the best time to start new things. And by the way, if a new beginning is especially important, consider using event timing, also known as electional astrology, to give it the best possible start. There's a link in the show notes to my service where I can help you pick the best starting time for an important event. So as I mentioned, I'm going to be mentioning the critical moments of these T-squares. Here on June 3rd, we have a Athena, Saturn, lunar nodes T-square starting, peaking on the 20th, ending on the 6th of July. And we have that Mercury, Saturn, lunar nodes T-square that started on May 18, peaking today on June 3rd, ending on June 16. Let's move on to Saturday, June 4th, Saturn retrograde. Saturn turns retrograde at 5:47 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, around 25 degrees Aquarius. The Time Lord will turn direct again in 4.5 months on October 23rd at around 18.5 Aquarius. This is a great time to contemplate Saturnian themes in your life. Is your behavior mature, responsible, and well-structured? Do you make good use of your time? Are you able to plan the work and work the plan? How much of your time do you spend alone? One of Saturn's archetypes is the hermit. If you're old enough, are you stepping into the role of the wise elder? Saturn's placement in Aquarius can carry the same themes as the Saturn-Uranus square discussed earlier in this forecast. Those archetypal themes are well worth your consideration as Saturn turns retrograde. Next, on Monday, June 6th, shadow work may well be amplified by a double Thor's hammer. It started on May 27, peaks today on June 6th, and wraps up on June 13th. It includes Ceres, Jupiter, Saturn, and the South Node. Ceres, the grieving mother of Persephone in Greek mythology, can trigger old psychological traumas, especially in the emotional sign of Cancer. The South Node holds unhealed trauma from past lives. Plus, the South Node is in Scorpio, the sign of psychology and deep inner processing. Saturn brings challenge only when it serves your evolution. His placement in Aquarius suggests taking an innovative approach to your emotional healing. By the way, thousands have sped up their shadow work with the healing invocation, which is featured in my free invocation masterclass, linked in the show notes. And if you want to get to it right now, quick and easy, just go to astroshaman.com and look in the upper right corner where it says invocations. Just click or tap that, and it will take you from there. Finally, and by the way, the masterclass is self-paced. You don't have to link up with other people. You can do it whenever you like. Finally, Jupiter in Aries adds energy and passion. This can help you power through any obstacles in your healing journey. This double Thor's hammer can also support wealth building if you're willing to persevere and think outside the box. That's because Saturn's in Aquarius. This works because Ceres, Scorpio, and Jupiter all have astrological resonance with money and abundance. Next, you can electrify your feminine assertiveness as Uranus conjoins Pallas Athena around 17 degrees Taurus. This conjunction can also help you be more innovative with your diplomacy, negotiation, and strategy. Be sure to follow your intuitive hits in those areas. Friday, June 10th, a Venus-Saturn lunar nodes T-square starts today on the 10th, peaks on the 17th, and ends on the 24th. On Saturday, June 11th, it's time to be original and authentic in your relationships and creativity as Venus conjoins Uranus at 17 degrees Taurus. This conjunction can also help you take your partnerships, artistry, and finances in new and exciting directions. Tuesday, June 14th, a Sagittarius full moon empowered by Saturn and Neptune. This full moon illuminates the sky at 7:52 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, around 23.5 Sagittarius. Any Sagittarius full moon is great for release or adjustment in any of the following areas: expansion or overexpansion, quests and adventures, philosophy, religion, or the meaning of life, higher education, that can be formal or self-guided, being a professor, philosopher, guru, or other wisdom giver, publishing, believing you have the one true way and its associated proselytizing, foreign travel or influences, celebration, and euphoria. Aspects. This full moon's most important aspects are a Neptune square and a Saturn sextile. We'll look at each planet's influence individually and then explore how they can team up to help you. Neptune square. On the high side, Neptune can help you deepen your spiritual awakening and bless you with inspired creativity. He can help you live life in the zone and can help you work more effectively with dreams. But this Neptune square could also bring challenge. Addiction, substance abuse, and excessive escapism are part of Neptune's dark side. So is aimless drifting or martyring yourself as a victim in a relationship. As with any astrological energy, focusing more on the high side gives an archetype less energy to express on the low side. If you need additional support to break free from a dark side effect, especially addiction, be sure to get help right away. Saturn sextile. This harmonious, energizing aspect from Saturn can help you be more mature, responsible, and trustworthy. It can help you use time more efficiently and plan the work and work the plan. It can help you take an appropriate amount of time to yourself and step out as the wise elder if you're ready. What about Saturn and Neptune together? These two have a special magic when they work as a team. There are three things they do especially well together. First, law of attraction. In this context, Neptune rules visualization and imagination. Saturn loves to crystallize ideas into material form. This makes them an ideal duo for law of attraction manifestation, and there is a link in the show notes to my post on how to use law of attraction. Next, embodied awakening. Viewed through this lens, Neptune rules spiritual awakening, while Saturn once again rules physical manifestation. By the way, for a quick and easy way to step into embodied awakening, check out the Embodied Awakening invocation in my free invocation masterclass. I've already mentioned that. Go to astroshaman.com, click invocations in the upper right corner, and you'll learn all about that. Third, conscious dissolution. Is there something you want less of in your life? Saturn can represent it, while you can partner with Neptune to wash it away. Then there's a Chiron trine. This final aspect of the full moon is subtle, but still worth mentioning. It's a wide Chiron trine, and this can make healing or mentoring a little bit easier. Next, on Wednesday, June 15th, healing and mentoring are energized by a Mars-Chiron conjunction at 16 Aries. This aspect might stir up old traumas, so have a good shadow work tool handy. I already mentioned that healing invocation in my free invocation masterclass. That's helped a lot of folks. Next, Friday, June 17th, the Venus-Saturn lunar nodes T-square that started on June 10th, peaks today on the 17th, and ends on the 24th. Then, Monday, June 20th, the T-square with Pallas Athena, Saturn and the lunar nodes that started on June 3rd, peaks today on the 20th, and ends on July 6th. Tuesday, June 21st, the Sun enters Cancer at 5:14 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, marking the summer solstice. For the next month, more energy is available for home, family, security, emotional expression, and shadow work, all Cancer archetypes. Charts of seasonal change, such as this one, give an overview of the astrological energy for the next 3 months. This summer solstice chart includes 4 T-squares I already interpreted in this forecast: Saturn lunar nodes, Saturn-Uranus lunar nodes, Pallas Athena Saturn lunar nodes, and Venus-Saturn lunar nodes. And I've already told you about those. I don't have to repeat that here. The Mars-Chiron conjunction I interpreted on June 15th is also strong in this chart. Its potential to stir up shadow work is even stronger because both planets square Ceres. Finally, this solstice chart contains 2 aspects I have not already interpreted. A nearly exact Venus-Pluto trine can bring an easy, smooth flow of power and wealth to your relationships, creativity, and finances, and a Moon-Jupiter conjunction with both planets in Aries can fire you up with joy and make you want to celebrate. Next, on Monday, June 27th, do you need some endurance? A Mars-Saturn sextile might make you feel like the Energizer Bunny. Plan to get a lot accomplished. This aspect is even stronger than usual since both planets are in signs that they rule. Next, on Tuesday, June 28th, Neptune turns retrograde at 7:15 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That's at 25.5 Pisces. The mystical planet will turn direct again in about 5 months on December 3rd, around 22.5 Pisces. This is a great time to contemplate Neptune's positive potentials. How are you doing with your inspired creativity and spiritual awakening? Are you maximizing the amount of time you spend in flow state and working productively with your dreams? Are you experiencing any challenges with Neptune's dark side? Are you struggling with addiction, substance abuse, or excessive escapism? Are you drifting aimlessly or sacrificing your essential needs and desires to try to make someone else happy? Also on Tuesday, June 28th, we have a Cancer new moon square Jupiter. This new moon lines up at 10:52 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time at 7.5 Cancer. Any Cancer new moon is great for new beginnings or renewed energy in 5 areas. I mentioned them before: home, family, security, emotional expression, and shadow work. Aspects. This new moon's standout aspect is a nearly exact Jupiter square. Jupiter embodies the same archetypal meanings as Sagittarius. I listed those earlier in this forecast. To avoid reinventing the wheel, I'm just going to repeat them here. Here they go again. Expansion or overexpansion, quests and adventures, philosophy, religion, or the meaning of life, higher education, formal or self-guided, being a professor, philosopher, guru, or other wisdom giver, publishing, believing you have the one true way and its associated proselytizing, foreign travel or influences, celebration, and euphoria. This Jupiter square empowers you to move forward in any of these areas, although I'd avoid the overexpansion and proselytizing. You can also use it to juice up any of those 5 fundamental Cancer themes. Then we have Venus and Vesta, which are the new moon's other 2 aspects. A nearly exact Venus semi-sextile can energize your relationships, creativity, and finances. With Venus in Gemini, do you have enough variety in these areas, such as a balanced investment portfolio? A tight Vesta trine harmoniously supports selfless service. This aspect can make it easier to contribute your time, energy, or financial support to a worthy cause that serves the greater good. And then Tuesday through Thursday, June 28th through 30, June closes with a sextile and 3 quintiles. These uplifting aspects end the month on a high note. Or I should say, on a high note. A Venus-Jupiter sextile at 7 degrees Gemini and Aries on June 28th smoothly connects astrology's 2 classic benefics. This aspect can harmoniously energize and expand your relationships, creativity, and finances. With Venus in Gemini, you can do the same for your learning, writing, and communication. Now, a quintile is astrology's most magical aspect. This 72-degree aspect is like fairy dust, inspiring creativity and easing divine connection. A Venus-Neptune quintile, Venus 7 Gemini, Neptune 25 Pisces on June 29th, facilitates inspired creativity and divine connection. A Mercury-Jupiter quintile, Mercury 19 Gemini, Jupiter 7 Aries, also on June 29th, can magically support your thinking, writing, and communication. Finally, a Sun-Mars quintile, Sun 9 Cancer, Mars 27 Aries on June 30th, can serve you as an overall vitality booster. It can also inspire you as a leader, sexual being, or entrepreneur. Announcement. Awakening Plus events support your individual healing and awakening as well as global spiritual awakening. Not a member yet? Join one of our free events. At least 2 calls are open to the public each month. Experience how Awakening Plus can accelerate your personal evolution. Here are the dates and titles of our June events, all at 8 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. I'm just going to give titles, no descriptions this time, so we'll blow through this really quick. Wednesday, June 1st, individual and group healing. That's tonight as I record this. Thursday, June 2nd, Astrology, June forecast highlights and mini readings. It's the first time we brought astrology into Awakening Plus. We're going to be doing this every month. Monday, June 6th, New Earth Support Team free public call. An important note, we're now only doing free public calls for New Earth Support Team on the first Monday of the month. All the others will be members only from now on. Wednesday, June 8th, Ecstatic Divine Group Consciousness. Thursday, June 9th, Community Support. Monday, June 13th, New Earth Support Team members only. Wednesday, June 15th, Shamanic Breathwork. Monday, June 20th, New Earth Support Team members only. Monday, June 20th, New Earth Support Team members only. Wednesday, June 22nd, Divinely Directed. This one is a free public call, so anyone's welcome at that. Thursday, June 23rd, Ask Us Anything. Monday, June 27th, New Earth Support Team members only. And Wednesday, June 29th, Gentle Group Healing. That's actually 12 events. That's the most we've ever had in a single month. Awakening Plus usually features at least 11 live streaming events each month, and at least 2 of those are open to everyone for free each month. We would love to have you join our supportive online community. Members receive these exclusive benefits. At least 8 of those 11 Zoom calls each month are members only. We have an archive of now nearly 450 life-transforming events, including a best-of guide, so you can pick the juiciest ones. We have a Members Helping Members service, an Invocation Masterclass course, another course called Self-Guided Internal Family Systems Therapy, where my voice takes you through the entire process, and then a course called Your Divine Allies, Let Them Help You More. In Awakening Plus, you can choose an accountability partner, activate the forum, and hang out with people. So much you can do. You can learn more or start a free trial membership, 30 days for $1 at awakeningplus.com. That's awakening, Plus.com. Who is our free session winner for June? It's Damien, and this is the only Damien who submitted. So if you're Damien and you submitted, contact me, Benjamin, at astroshaman.com, and we will set you up with your free reading. Congratulations, Damien. And to everybody, thank you for being here. Once again, I'm Benjamin Bernstein with astroshaman.com. I can serve you with astrology readings, shamanic healing, and one-of-a-kind life coaching. All my one-on-one services are equally effective in person or long distance. I do just about everything by Zoom these days. I also offer an unbeatable price on SolarFire, the #1 astrology software for Windows. And as I mentioned, I run the Awakening Plus online membership for spiritual support. Learn about all this and more at astroshaman.com. And to see the show notes, go to astroshaman.com/604. That means we've done 604 episodes. That's a lot. Please reach out if you have any questions. My email is benjamin@astroshaman.com, and my number for voice and text, 828-338-9852. I'd love to connect with you. We're wrapping up. Please leave me a 5-star rating, review, or comment wherever you're getting this episode so others who also love astrology and spirituality can find it. Thank you again for spending this time with me. I wish you infinite blessings as the stars light your way.